The neighborhood around Fifth Avenue is changing. White House level security, traffic nightmares, and protesters shutting down streets. At Uncle Jack's Steakhouse on 56th, they're seeing fewer customers walk in.
We are down 20%.
Director of Operations Robert Smith says on some days his customers aren't even allowed past the police barricades.
Yesterday morning, I had to convince a police officer to let me into my own restaurant.
Even garbage trucks have been turned away at times. Smith, who says he's a Trump supporter, says the city needs to figure out how to keep this area secure without killing the businesses here.
I'd like to see the maintenance trucks, the garbage trucks, all of the clientele to be able to use 56th Street like they always did.
Just a month ago, you wouldn't be able to walk right down the middle of 56th Street, but now it's closed to vehicle traffic. This is the new normal, and it's not just affecting businesses.
It's been very difficult to get around because...
We spoke with real estate broker Victoria Stainer. She also lives in this neighborhood. She says between the Trump motorcades, security screenings, and protests, some residents struggle just to go to the store.
So basically, if you want to leave your house, you need an hour.
She says it's too early to see how this will affect real estate prices, but she says many are now thinking twice about living in this once prized neighborhood.
It's affecting them in terms of security, and do they really want to be in this area or need to be in this area?
Some frightening moments for more than a dozen passengers on board that bus there. Rescue workers tell us the bus was traveling through Waltham when at 106th that lumber truck hit it broadside, hit the entrance door, and that's where you see debris, shattered glass, metal across the intersection here. We're told the sound was heard down the block.
I was at the corner, I was inside, I was coming out to go to the store. As I'm going to the store, I just heard something go boom!
Investigators still on the scene here, putting together all the pieces, gathering evidence, trying to figure out exactly what caused this accident. As for more than a dozen passengers, we're told they all walked off okay. They should all be just fine. In Jamaica, Queens, I'm Mark Santia, News 4 New York.
He had the gun. He already said he's gonna shoot me, so anything can happen.
For a man too shaken up to show his face, this gunshot wound in his arm is a constant reminder of his scary brush with thieves. He told us he feels lucky for his life after he was shot during a robbery at this Wells Fargo on Cypress Parkway in Poinciana. He was using the ATM when, you can see from this surveillance video, two men appeared from the darkness. He says they were after his vehicle. They tried to force him out of it by pressing a gun to his chest. That's when he punched the accelerator.
Getting there by thinking, I don't have the car in parking, I have the car in drive. That in the moment that I take off, and then I received the shock in my arm.
You can see the bullet left a hole in the car just shy of the wheel well. Thankfully, the victim was able to drive away despite the injury and a ringing in his ears and call for help. Now, investigators are hoping these images will help lead to arrests.
I hope they can find them, do something about it, because this can happen to anybody, you know, and I get lucky this time. You never know if somebody get lucky like me.
It's Thanksgiving week and you plan to get away, visit family, go somewhere fun.
This is our first time doing this. The whole family, we're just going to try something new every year, so we try in Vegas this year.
Turns out more Americans have the travel bug. Experts at AAA say it's all thanks to the economy.
Well, heading into the tail end of the year here, we see improvements, see job growth, and we see that consumers are actually gaining more confidence and they are spending more.
Another big contributor, cheap gas. AAA projects the average trip more than 50 miles away from home, and of those traveling, roughly 90% will be hitting the roads.
We see that Americans have saved upwards of $28 million so far this year on gasoline. And, you know, they're actually putting that extra money from the pump into their pockets and taking it on a trip with their family members.
With many feeling great with money in their pockets, flights are more expensive. That's why travelers we spoke to say they planned a longer trip.
Because we're trying to get pretty much the more bang for our bucks.
Flying doesn't mean you'll get there faster. On top of unexpected plane or weather delays, the TSA warns to plan for tougher screening measures and long lines at checkpoints.
Give yourself time. Pack appropriately. Make sure you really double check things.
So before you head out, pack your patience. And when you get to your destination, you'll be ready to give thanks. Sarah Rosario, NBC News.
Logan has definitely been busy, but it is controlled chaos. They've added TSA workers to try and get people moving through the security line ahead of time. People have been arriving early for their flight, anticipating that wait. If you are driving, however, you want to make sure you hit the roads sooner rather than later. Bye. Heading out before the holiday rush.
Everything's fine. We're going to Baltimore, first time air flyers, so we're excited.
And you're doing it on the busiest travel day of the year?
Yes, we are. And we're surprising our mother-in-law. She doesn't know we're coming.
I'm going back home to Kentucky to see my family.
Security lines at Logan Airport winding quickly this morning.
The traffic wasn't so bad, but the line here for security is pretty long, so hopefully it'll go quickly.
MassDOT estimates at least 1 million passengers will be taking off from Logan and suggests people arrive 2 hours early for their flights. AAA says nearly 49 million people will be driving this Thanksgiving holiday, a significant increase thanks to lower gas prices. So state leaders suggest flexibility with your travel plans. They say new technology like sensors, cameras, and the new electronic tolls will give drivers unprecedented real-time traffic information.
One of the good news for Thanksgiving travelers is that there are more ways than ever before to find out real-time information about where the traffic congestion is and what routes folks might want to take.
MassDOT suggests checking out the website mass511.com. You can call 511 or use apps like Waze, a great tool for the latest traffic updates. Okay, so if you are heading out today, according to MassDOT, they say the best time to get out is before noon, so hopefully you're packed up and ready to go. If not, they said they're going to expect to see that rush hour start earlier, but that also means it's going to end sooner. So if you don't get out early, they say your best bet is to wait until later this evening to hit the road. That's the latest live from Logan. Nicole Oliverio, 7 News.
Hundreds of vegetables being chopped at this Asbury Park restaurant.
How do you make gravy for 1,000 people? Well, it's preparation is everything. You want to make sure you plan well and you start chopping away, just like I'm doing right here.
Thanksgiving Day and Christmas Day. Langosta Lounge opens to those in need, to the homeless. More than 1,000 people have shown up each day in recent years. And all of this food, piles and piles of it, donated by people, by companies. How does staff prepare so many days in advance?
With all your heart, with all the desire to give back something to the community and to everyone in general.
This food for the hungry, fully restaurant quality.
No corners are cut? No compromises? No.
In past years, volunteers have come from far and wide to spend their holiday helping others. Owner Marilyn Schlossbach started it all after she lost her parents.
I think a lot of the volunteers come out because they're having their issues. They're sad. They miss a family member.
In just the past few days, Schlossbach says she's had to turn down 100 volunteers, but there's hope for them. She does this all over again at Christmas. In Asbury Park, Brian Thompson, News 4 New York.